First and foremost, I do not apologize for having an opinion on this matter. I am a 43-year-old heterosexual man raising 5 boys and 2 girls, okay? That's my reality. Now, if my opinion offended somebody, yeah, sure, I apologize for you being offended because that wasn't my intention. My intention is never to offend anybody. However, I'm entitled to feel how I feel.
All right, let's just get the biggest question out there. Was Neo wrong for saying what he said? No, he wasn't. But I would like to explain. Okay, so I don't know who's doing this, okay? I hope the people that consume my content and are subscribed and actually interact with my content, I hope this is not you. I hope I'm not talking to you when it comes to Neo and his situation. Now, if you don't know Neo, that kind of sucks. You know, he's an R&B singer. He came out, you know, during my generation. I love his music, you know what I'm saying? Even though he's going through some things personally, I still think his music's pretty amazing. But when it comes to, your opinions and the way that you live your life, you are nobody special to impose your opinions and your morals onto anybody else, let alone in America, the land of the free, the home of the braves. You have the audacity to try to force your lifestyle on another individual, because we all know if the roles were reversed and someone was trying to force their lifestyle upon you, you ready to bring the guns out. You ready to fight. You ready to scream and call the manager. Okay? But no, for some reason, we have a sect of Americans who feel like they need to oppose, enforce, and make people live the way they feel is correct. Now, I've said this a million times. I am a God-fearing man myself. I have my own morals and a set of integrities that me and my family live by. But I would never, even if I was in a position of power, force anybody to do anything, because Jesus himself didn't force anyone. He said, pick up your cross and follow me. He didn't make anyone do anything. But for some reason, other folks like to feel like they need to. So with Neo, he was on this interview and he was asked a question when it comes to LGBTQ kids and their parents. So let's go ahead, watch this short little interview or the short clip, and let's have that conversation.
Parents have almost forgotten what the role of a parent is.
Amen.
It's like, okay,
lost control.
If your little boy comes to you and says, Daddy, I want to be a girl, and you just let him rock with that,
Right.
He's 5.
Right. And where did he get that from?
If you let this 5-year-old boy decide to eat candy all day, he's going to do that.
Exactly.
Like, when did it become a good idea to let a 5-year-old, let a 6-year-old, let a 12-year-old make a life-changing decision for themselves?
Right.
When did that happen?
Right.
Like, I don't understand that.
So, of course, with the interview like that, and especially that clip is going to go viral. And to me, it's a little weird that, you know, that kind of conversation would arise with an R&B singer. But I mean, you know, they're human. They got their own opinions. But Neo, you knew. Someone should have advised you. Your person should have been like, hey, bro, you know, hey, you sure you want to go this route? You sure? But of course, you know, people were tripping out on Twitter, which I am not a part of, thank God. And it got to the point to where at least we thought it was an apology from Neo. So let's go ahead and see this weird transpire of events happen. And we're going to have that conversation.
To be a groveling apology issued. These were some of the words. After much reflection, I'd like to express my deepest apologies to anyone that I may have hurt with my comments on parenting and gender identity. Goes on about how much he's supported the LGBTQIA plus community, how he's been insensitive and offensive, and he says gender identity is nuance. And I can honestly admit that I plan to do better, educate myself on the topic. So he got a massive backlash for the apology because it was weak, it was spineless, it was unneeded, almost submitting himself to some sort of re-education. Well, Kosha, here is the plot twist. He's now released a video taking back that apology, suggesting that it was the publicist's apology.
What?
This is how he really feels.
Okay.
What's going on, loved ones? This is Neo. All right, listen. I normally don't give too much of a damn about what y'all think about what I do, what y'all have to say about what I say, whatever. I normally don't care because, like I said, opinions ain't special. Everybody got one. However, this is something I feel very strongly on, and I need y'all to hear this from the horse's mouth, not the publicist's computer. So check this out. First and foremost, I do not apologize for having an opinion on this matter. I am a 43-year-old heterosexual man raising 5 boys and 2 girls, okay? That's my reality. Now, if my opinion offended somebody, yeah, sure, I apologize for you being offended because that wasn't my intention. My intention is never to offend anybody. However, I'm entitled to feel how I feel. I'm absolutely entitled to feel how I feel the same way you are entitled to feel how you feel. I ain't asked nobody to follow me. I ain't asked nobody to agree with me. I was asked a question and I answered the damn question, okay? I have no beef with the LGBTQIA plus community whatsoever. I ain't got no beef with y'all. Do whatever the hell it is you want to do. Do what you want to do with your kids. However, somebody asked my opinion on this matter, and this is how I feel. I will never be okay with allowing a child to make a decision that detrimental to their life. I will never be okay with that. I don't care. I definitely plan to educate myself a little bit more on this matter. However, I doubt that there's any book anywhere or any opinion that somebody's going to tell me that's going to make me okay with letting a child make a decision like that. That's just period, point blank, and that's how I feel. If I get canceled for this, then you know what? Maybe this is a world where they don't need a Neo no more, all right?
Interesting.
She was like, okay, all right. Let's go ahead and talk about this. All right, let's just get the biggest question out there. Was Neo wrong for saying what he said? No, he wasn't. But I would like to explain. All right. So, of course, when you're in a position where you have a large platform, you're going to have ears listening to you. You need to be careful on how you say things, because even I feel that Neo's intentions weren't to hurt anyone or get anyone upset. Even though that was his intentions, that's not how that interview, or at least that clip, came off. You know what I'm saying? Anytime, and it's weird because if he was just to take 2 seconds and just flip the conversation, he would be offended too. If gay people and went to Neo and was like, hey, Neo, you are not raising your kids right. You need to raise your kids like this. The way that, the LGBTQ community raises their kids. You need to do the exact same thing we're doing. And we think how you're doing it is wrong, and it is weird, and it's disgusting, and it's crazy. Neo would be upset. Anybody would be upset. It was like, because us as Americans and as humans, we want to do things our way. And if you try to impose something on me, and it's the way that I want to do it, I'm going to get offended by that. That's simple. So when Neo was on that interview and he was like, pretty much dogging the way that, these parents like to, raise their kids or handle their kids when, if they're confused about anything, the way that he spoke to them, and, let's just be honest, you don't have to be gay to kind of understand how that could be offensive. They took offense to it. And Neo could have been like, hey, I didn't mean to offend anybody, but this is just the way that I want to raise my kids and live my life. That simple. You know what I'm saying? Which I don't understand what the big deal is. LGBTQ people, you cannot force people to have the same perspective on raising kids the way that you do. That's simple. And to my straight people, stop trying to make it seem like everybody wants you to raise your kids the way they're raising their kids. 9 times out of 10, they don't care about you and your kids. It's that simple. It's easy. This shouldn't even be a story. But we got so many people in their feelings because, it's a lot of access to information. And when it's a lot of access to information and people are bored and they don't have nothing to do with their lives, they want to get easily offended by someone's opinion that will not affect them. Now, if a politician, someone in power is tripping like this, then yeah, okay, I can see it. But it's Neo said, I'm so sick of love song. That Neo, what is he doing to you? Leave that dude alone, man. Let him go back to the studio, make some good music. Let him focus on him and his kids and his life, and that's it. Easy. Not everything needs to be a fight. That's simple. But once again, if I'm wrong, if you think Neo needs to be canceled and we all need to delete his music and everybody needs to live the way that you feel like everybody needs to live, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments. And like always, let's have that conversation.